Here we are, beautiful spring day at the workbench. We're looking at a stock 4.3 liter Vortec intake manifold. Terrible design. And this is going to be upgraded with a marine intake manifold. But I wanted to show why we're going to upgrade on a 4.3 liter to a marine intake manifold. And it's all in the fuel injection. This fuel injection is terrible. The fuel injectors actually reside inside the intake manifold in this little block. And then they send the pressurized fuel through these little fuel lines to little poppet valves. And this system is not good for performance upgrades. There's no way to get more fuel to the engine. It's a very restrictive system, and it's just not good for what we're doing. So let me show you the marine intake manifold. Okay, here's the marine intake manifold. As you can see, it uses standard style fuel injectors. They come with EV6 style plugs, and they're rated at 24 pounds from the best literature I can find, which is good for a stock or basic mild 4.3 V6. Set up for a standard distributor. The only problem comes right here. What we have here is a drive-by-wire throttle body. And the problem with the drive-by-wire, the S10s are all drive-by cable. So, the next problem comes in, it's a 4-bolt throttle body. So, what we did is we've got adapters. And these adapters are for sale on eBay. And they come with both gaskets and all of the hardware necessary to install it. And it's very simple. You just set the gasket up, set the adapter up, you can see the port match is fantastic. Now, the next basic upgrade is in the throttle body. If you have not been inside the throttle body on an S10, there's actually a giant restrictor plate in the throttle body. Now, I have already gone ahead and removed the restrictor plate, but it literally rivets in right on the throttle blade and restricts the amount of air going into the engine. It's very simple to drill that out, and this throttle body will actually hold a considerable amount of power. So there's no need to upgrade to a larger throttle body, even though there are some on the market. So, let's get this gasket and all the hardware for the conversion is included in the adapter kit. All the bolts, all the gaskets, everything's included. And when all's said and done, you can run your stock 4.3 liter throttle body on the intake manifold. Now this engine is getting a cam upgrade. It's also getting a boost in compression up to about 9 3/4 to 1 compression, and very, very mild cylinder head work. Cylinder heads are actually really good, and they don't require much of anything at all to make them perform really, really well. The next upgrade we're looking at is possibly better fuel rails. There's nothing wrong with these fuel rails except where these fuel rails terminate up here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a good fuel line to connect to the factory style. So we're either going to get an AN fitting to snap onto these and run AN fittings down to the junction under the cab, or the other possibility is going to a billet fuel rail designed for the Cyclone and Typhoon. So, other than that, you will have to drill and tap for a couple of vacuum ports. It comes with a vacuum port for the fuel pressure regulator. It comes with another vacuum port right there for the PCV valve. And it comes with a map sensor already installed, but there is no provision for the brake booster. So we'll probably drill and tap probably this larger pad right here designed for vacuum port. So from there, the only other difference that may or may not be an issue is there is no EGR provision on this intake manifold. Now, while this brass plug, this big one right here, does go to the inside of the intake manifold, you would have to run an external LS truck style EGR valve that's mounted off the intake manifold. Other than that, it looks like everything else should be perfectly good. And when the engine comes back from the machine shop, we'll mount it up and make sure everything's good. See you then. Another critical upgrade for the 4.3 liter is the distributor. Now, the factory distributors and even the factory replacement distributors are just garbage. The housing that the shaft goes in is plastic. The bushings are notorious for wearing out. And if you could feel it, there is a tremendous amount of shaft play in this distributor, and it's just a constant woe when it comes to 4.3 liters. They just don't last. But what makes for a good upgrade, there is a company on eBay that sells an all billet aluminum construction distributor for the 4.3 liter Vortec V6. Comes with the sensor, comes with the cap, and it actually has a roller bearing in the top and a really good bushing in the bottom. It is an inexpensive upgrade, and it really is worth every dollar to have really good ignition parts. So I would highly recommend upgrading anything from stock to radically wild to this distributor. It's a very good construction. And yep, this is going in too. So when we get the engine back from the machine shop, we're going to have some fun. See you next time. And always remember, for the best ride of your life, always use Delco parts. See you next time.